In this video, we're going to add the Quooker Cube onto a cooker system which is already installed. For this installation, you will need a set of spanners from sizes 10 to 24. With the Quooker Cube, you not only get cold, hot and boiling water, but also chilled sparkling and chilled filtered water, all from the cooker tap. If you haven't yet installed the cooker tap and tank, start with these first. Make sure that the cube tank has enough room. We recommend leaving at least 10 cm of free space behind the cube tank and to cut an opening measuring 20 by 20 cm in the rear panel of the cupboard for ventilation. If there is not enough free air or ventilation behind the rear panel, we also recommend making an opening in the bottom of the cupboard under the cube for further ventilation. Switch off the cooker tank and remove its plug from the socket. Turn off the mains water supply. Disconnect the tap's cold water hose from the cold water supply and remove the old hose screen. Place the fibre washer into the pressure reducing valve. Connect the valve onto the cold water supply and tighten. Place the first new hose screen into the pressure reducing valve, then connect the cube stop valve onto it and tighten. Place the second hose screen into the cube stop valve, then connect on the tap's cold water hose and tighten. Now remove the boiling water hose from the top of the tank using spanners 10 and 14. Place a new small fibre washer onto the tank connection, then connect the T-joint using the same spanners. Remove the old fibre washer from the boiling hose and replace it with a new one. Connect it to the T-joint and tighten. Turn the T-joint so that the push-fit end faces the cube. This is to avoid bending the white tubes in the next steps. Remove the two protective caps from the in and out connections by pushing the grey ring downwards and pulling them out. Insert the white hoses into the in and out connections firmly. Check that both hoses are installed correctly by carefully pulling on them to ensure they are secured firmly in place. Insert the white cube in hose into the cube stop valve. Screw the coupling firmly closed so that the red marking is no longer visible. Insert the white cube out hose into the T-joint on top of the tank. Check that the hose is installed correctly by carefully pulling on it to ensure it is secured firmly in place. Remove the protective cap from the CO2 connection on the rear of the cube and insert the transparent CO2 hose firmly. Insert the other end into the push-fit connection on the CO2 pressure reducing valve. Screw the CO2 cylinder into the CO2 pressure reducing valve until it cannot be tightened any further. Some gas may escape and a hissing noise may be heard. This is perfectly normal, but it is important that you ensure the cylinder is tightly screwed in. Remove the rubber blanking piece covering the secondary port at the back of the tank cover. Insert the black connector firmly until no more copper is visible. Insert the blue connector on the other end of the cable into the blue port at the back of the cube cover. Make sure that the cold switch on the rear of the cube is set to 0. Connect both the cube and the cooker tank into the mains socket. Switch the power on. Turn on the mains water supply. Open the cube stop valve by turning the blue handle in line with the white tube. Switch on the cooker tank by pressing the Q button on top of the tank. Ensure that the cold switch remains on 0 to be able to vent the system properly. Flush the cube's filtered water twice through for 1 minute each time. Do this by holding the textured ring down until the tap lights up blue, then turn it counterclockwise. The LED ring will light a constant blue. Now set the cold switch at the back of the cube to 1 to start venting the system by dispensing sparkling water. Press the textured ring down and turn immediately counterclockwise. The LED ring starts flashing blue. Let the tap run like this for about 10 seconds. The flow can splutter because of the trapped air being vented out of the cube. Turn the ring back to stop the tap. The pump will now be activated and the cube will start to fill with sparkling water. This may take up to 3 minutes and the pump may be noisy during this time. Dispense sparkling water for approximately 1 minute to flush the system through. Your cube is now ready for use. Chilled sparkling and chilled filtered water whenever you want it. The tap that does it all. Quooker.